Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers of the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215, and today we're going to be taking a cycling tour through Penn's Landing's latest edition, which is a 6-mile jogging and cycling trail. We actually just entered it from where it starts. It starts at Spring Garden, and it ends on Washington Avenue. So on my left-hand side, you'll see a sign advertising development opportunities, 37 townhomes, shovel ready to build. Now, if you're not from the city, Penn's Landing is one of Philadelphia's main tourist attractions. It's where regulars of the city and people who are not from the city come to visit. They take a look at our waterfront. This location is right across from Camden. So if you just cross the Ben Franklin Bridge, which we'll ride under in a few, you'll go straight to Camden, New Jersey. This location right here from where I'm at is probably 8 minutes away from Camden, New Jersey, give or take, depending on traffic. It's a beautiful day. It's like mid-80s. The sun's out. There's no wind chill right now. And I figured I'd bring this development project to your attention because not many people know that they're doing this. They've been working on a major Penn's Landing corridor project within the last 10 plus years. They've been slowly but surely making new additions. Now, right now we're on Spring Garden. See, Spring Garden is over there. That's Spring Garden Street. And this is Delaware Ave or Columbus Boulevard. So if you look down, we're on the actual cycling path. It's still being worked on, so it's not complete. That's why I wanted to document it right now before it gets complete. A lot of this is still empty. There used to be a little recycling facility right here in the early 2000s on my left-hand side. Used to be a little cycling facility. They would recycle objects. It was like some type of trash spot you would take your dumping at. But yeah, so we're on the e-bike. I'm pedaling as of now, just to preserve a little bit of battery life. But I'll use the E feature soon enough. This trail is supposed to span 6 miles, to my knowledge. 6 miles. Now, it goes straight through Penn Treaty Park also. It goes through Penn Treaty Park. We started a little bit after Penn Treaty Park, but what they did was they utilized the unused space in Penn Treaty Park. There was a little backtrack. I took you guys through there before on the e-scooter, and they connected the whole entire trail. Look, we got Festival Pier at Penn's Landing. This is usually filled with people walking up and down. When they have like festivals and stuff on the riverfront, this is packed. A lot of people come here. Now, in order to make this trail, they actually had to take some of the street. So they shifted all these poles, all these light poles. They were actually more over here. So what they did was, this has been happening for the last 3 or so years. They dug up the ground, they put these orange giant cones, and they basically ran all new lines and pushed everything to the street side, and they're actually taking away potential street space. They're making the street a little bit tighter. As you can see, it's 3 lanes, but all in order to bring this trail into fruition. We just passed another outdoor dining spot. Now, Penn's Landing has always been a nicer area in Philly. People come here to hang out. There's a lot of riverfront amenities, such as the boathouse. There's, I believe, a museum on the riverfront. There's a hotel on the riverfront. We have Dave & Buster's. We have somebody over there doing some cutting, in case you guys were wondering what was the noise. We have Dave & Buster's. There's several other businesses along this riverfront. To my knowledge, big developers are also coming because they want to make like a casino attraction here next to the riverfront. This is prime real estate, basically. To my knowledge, it wasn't always like that. In the 70s or the 80s, this was like the shipyard. This was where that river right there, that cargo, the Delaware little river right there, that's one of the busiest cargo strips in the area. So there's a lot of tugboats and freight cargo boats that go through that riverfront and pass under the Ben Frank, that little canal right there. This is Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports. You got the hibachi, Japanese steakhouse and sushi bar. We're traveling southbound. Behind us is northbound. On my left is eastbound. On my right is westbound. As you can see, we're right here next to the riverfront. We're right here next to the water. Now I'm on the sidewalk, as you can see, but I'm gonna move over right now and we're gonna get on the trail. We're back on the trail. Now the trail isn't complete, so there's probably gonna be some points where we're gonna have to work around the construction and make our way through it. But right now we're next to the 25 bus stop. We're traveling on the 200 block of Christopher Columbus Boulevard. We got a jogger across the street. I don't know if you guys can see her. I don't even know if the camera's doing justice. I try to position it upwards so you guys don't just stare at the handlebars. We got Morgan's Pier here. Morgan's Pier usually be pretty active. There's a lot of people who come here and hang out, drink and whatnot. This is right next to the bridge, so you can check it out. You got to make reservations at morganspier.com. That building wasn't always there. One Waterfront, it's a luxury apartment. Yeah, that wasn't always there. I'm gonna stop right here so that you guys can take a look at this bridge. This is the Ben Franklin Bridge. There are a few bridges that's along Penn's Landing or along the east side of Philadelphia. You have the Ben Franklin Bridge, then you got the Betsy Ross Bridge. Up the block, you got the Walt Whitman Bridge, and then you also have the Tacony Palmyra Bridge. They're all along the east side of Philadelphia, and they connect Philadelphia to New Jersey. Right here is the entrance to Northeast Philadelphia, or you can just pretty much take 95 north. As you can see, there's joggers right here, or a jogger, I should say, utilizing the jogging space. Yeah, she was working on her fitness, getting her health on, doing that cardio workout. We're next to Pier 12. And right now we're traveling under the bridge. The bridge is massive. There's a train going above us too. There's a train that also runs along the bridge. It's the Patco train. But I don't know if you guys can see, they're actually hooking up the walkway and the ground really nicely. I see cement, I see asphalt, I see stones. We got another jogger right here. Ring, ring, ring-a-ding-ding-ding. This is the Race Street Pier. This is normally open. Actually, it is open. I might as well take you guys here so you guys can see it before we pass it. This is one of the public spaces where you could come take photos. This is where the duck ride would enter in Philly. We have an amphibious vehicle, ride with the ducks. You can pay to have a tour. You ride on this bus-like vehicle. The vehicle basically travels through touristy, historic, monumental spots in Philly. And then it eventually goes from land into water, and it enters through that little ramp that we saw, and then you end up riding in the water. But make note, several years ago, that vehicle was actually in a life-changing accident where it sunk. Yeah, I think the boat topsided or something, and there was a group of students. I don't know if they were from Guatemala, from Peru, I don't know, and it was like a missionary group, like 20 something or so individuals, and 2 individuals, to my knowledge, passed away via the boat sinking. Yeah, horrible, horrible. And they were young too. They were in like their 20s, like 19, 20, 21, 22 or something. I don't know, for a short period of time, that experience was removed. Like, I don't know, I don't think they operated for a couple months or maybe a year or so. But I believe they're back on the road. Now, I haven't seen them lately because of what's been happening with the sickness and everything. You know, you can't do like tight group activities. But I won't be surprised if they eventually end up coming back and utilizing the Delaware River. What's up, buddy? So we got the Camden Aquarium over there. We got the Camden Waterfront. You can see the Camden. There's like I don't know if that's like an oil tower or something, but it has the Camden brand on it, or the Camden name. There's a boat over there. It's like a little tugboat. Yeah. It's a nice little area though, and over there there's like a little eating area where you could eat at. That's a spot where there's a restaurant and all that stuff. Look at, it's called, I believe, Waterfront Shade. We're going downhill. This is all pretty new too. They made this within the last 10 years. This is Street Pier. This is one of their first spicy additions to this little area. And to my knowledge, don't hold me to this, I believe this is the spot where there was a nightclub at that sunk. And yes, guys, it sunk. It was a nightclub. It was like a pier nightclub, and I think they were over capacity. It was over like 200 some people. I don't know what happened. It was when I was younger. It was like in the early 2000s, and the pier, I guess, broke. It collapsed, and many people drowned. Yeah, many people lost their lives, and it was closed down for quite some time. And I don't know if the city took over this land or this waterfront space, and they made this several years later. I believe this is the location. Yeah, they were taking photos. So I'm gonna exit this little work area. Remember, that's the Ride the Ducks entrance. They got solar panels here, right, for the electricity. There's a little restaurant over there too, right there across the street. High pressure fire service. I guess that, I don't know, at some point or another probably was related to a fire station, but it isn't no more. Now it's called La Peg, and it's like a fine arts little eating space. But all this cement is new. All this cement. We got Municipal Pier number 9 right here. You could go in there and drink and eat. Cherry Street Pier. So as you can see, they're doing work on the little trail. So all this used to be walkable, but remember I was telling you that they moving out all of the lines? So the street used to be a lot wider. But I guess since they had a lot of unused street space, they decided to utilize it for the trail. Because if you take a look down on the ground, I don't know if you guys can see, the street was a lot wider. This street was probably like 4 lanes, maybe 4.5 lanes, 4 lanes with a parking lane, but they condensed it down to 3 lanes. And actually, if you take a look at, I did a walking tour through here. I think I did 2 recent walking tours a few months ago through this same little strip. And I even did a 360 tour. And you will see that, no problem, buddy. And you will see that it looked small. It looked smaller. You will look at my footage and you will see the difference within months. And that goes to show you, when I was documenting this area, it didn't occur to me that I was documenting a small piece of history where 3-4 months later, this whole walkway was going to change. You see? That's why sometimes it's good to document this type of footage, because fast forward 3-4 years from now, when this is all thriving with life, not a lot of people are going to know how it came to life or how it began. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. Sometimes people walk through something and they always think that it was like that, but it wasn't. All right, guys, so far I'm definitely getting my little cardio workout on here, because I have not utilized the E function yet. I've just been pedaling. It's not too hot, so I think the pedaling works out. Look at this Bronco. They brought the Bronco back to life. All right, let's get back over here. You see how the street's wide? You see how wide the street is? I don't know if you guys can see, but check it out. Look how wide the street was. You see? 1, 2, I would say 1, 2, 3, maybe like a 4.5-ish lane. And you see these poles, they got to move them outwards because they got to be closer to the street side. So that's why they're closing off little areas. They're relocating the poles, moving them over, and then making a trail. There's a nice little area where you can stand at. Yep. It's pretty nice. I remember being a kid here, and I was probably like 14, 15. I was with like 12 of my other buddies, and we were all riding pedal bikes. It was like 11, 12 at night. And we were all hanging out here. You know, we were on bicycles. And then the cops pulled over, and they gave us all warnings because we were out past our curfew. And one of my buddies, who was the oldest one, I think he was like 17 or 18, they like gave him a little pep talk on how he should be responsible and he's supposed to be the leader and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I remember we all got warnings. They send you a curfew warning to your house. Yeah, they send you a curfew warning. So as you can see, again, check it out. This is the project in development. And technically, if you take a look right here, this is gonna be the trail. This right here, and you see how it turns over there, it turns? So this has already been worked on, which is pretty interesting. We're at Market Street. This is Market Street above us. This will take you straight to City Hall, Philadelphia. You got the Ben Franklin yacht here. You got the Pez Landing Great Plaza. You got the River Rink skating rink and the little Winterfest carnival they got over here on the left-hand side. It's like a little Ferris wheel, ice skating rink, a little golf course, like a miniature golf course. That's all right here on my left-hand side. Got a gentleman right here jogging. Wow. That dude right there got some, not only does he got super duper strong legs, but his legs are a lot smaller than his body. They're super duper skinny. His legs are skinny, his arms are skinny, and his midsection is probably a little bit fluffy, like me, like on the fluffier side. I guess, you know how it is when you get older, the pounds stick And especially if you don't get out and you don't do physical activity, you don't burn those calories that you take in. Remember, it's calories in versus calories out. So if you're taking in 1,000, 2,000 calories, you want to make sure you burn, 3,000, 4,000 calories. That's how you lose weight. A lot of people think it's just eating less, but it's not about eating less. It's not just that, because starvation isn't always good either. Your body metabolism changes, and then it eats the fat differently versus if you were out there every day working out. You always want to make sure that the calories you're burning are more than what you're eating. We're about to hit Chestnut Street. That's that ramp that's right here above us. And as you can see, it looks like we're gonna have to probably ride on the street side because this path isn't done yet. And yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good at all. So I might have to, unless I go over here. Maybe I can go over here. Let me see. Miniature bike effect. There you go. Oh no, but then we're gonna be in the parking lot. Oh no. The focus of this tour is the Penn's Landing Jogging Trail, the new addition. Oh, I stepped in all that mud too. All right, guys, we're back at it again in full effect. So as you can see, this can be kind of dangerous for joggers and for cyclists right now, considering that you got to jog next to the street side. All right, I think it's about time for me to use some of this E feature. So I'm going to turn on the bicycle. Make sure I got the bicycle on. Oops, I think I turned it off. It was on. All right, perfect. I'm gonna put it on. Let's put it on mode 1. Mode 1? Mode 2. No, mode 1. Mode 1 is fine. Whoa, it just automatically took off. Wow. So mode 1 on this bike, it is 9 miles per hour. Mode 2 on this bike is 12 miles per hour. Mode 3 on this bike is 15 miles per hour. It's also pedal assisted. So once you start pedaling, look, I'm slightly pedaling and it's doing the rest of the work for me. Now I can use pedal assistance or I can use the throttle. It also has a twist throttle right here. So look, if I twist it, boom. We're passing the 25 bus stop. Look, I don't have to do no pedaling. I feel the circulation of the wind. Yeah, that feels good. That feels really nice. But over here, if you take a look, you'll notice that they didn't start the trail here, but it looks like a little bit down the block, they may have started it. Let's wait till we get closer. So I think they're probably strategically picking and choosing which areas they want to start first. Maybe the more complicated, complex areas. I know this is right here next to Harbor Park, which is another little tourist attraction. Check it out right here. They did the same thing. Now, this is a little spot where people come to at nighttime because there's hammocks, or there used to be hammocks. No, I still see hammocks. And there's color icicle lighting that hangs from the trees, and the park looks really nice at nighttime. It looks really nice. And there's a few eateries out front on the riverfront. There's a warship over there. There's a few little spots where you can visit. Across the street, you got the Philadelphia Vietnam Veterans Memorial on the 300 block of Columbus Boulevard. We're gonna get back on the trail. Check it out. The trail continued again. So they already finished this area of the trail. But check it out. I'm just gonna point at this park real quick. You got pizza. I believe there's a Hip City Veds, funnel cakes. There's like a kettle corn spot where you can eat. A few other businesses like hot dogs and corn dogs and stuff. But that's one of the little areas where on the weekend, on a nice day, it's booming. You come through here on like a Saturday, Sunday morning, technically nowadays any day of the week, but I know it's more on Saturday and Sunday. You'll see tons of joggers. Tons of joggers. I'm talking about left and right, of all ages, of both genders, male and female, jogging. I won't be surprised if this jogging trail introduces a couple or two to each other. Could you imagine jogging and then you meet someone and you guys platonically kick it off or whatever, and then 20 years later you tell your kids like, Mom, where did you and Daddy meet? Oh, we met on Penn's Landing's jogging trail. Hey, Tune called it first. So when that couple watches this video 30, 40 years later, hit that thumbs up button. All right, we're next to the Moshulu. I'm gonna jump off of here, boom, 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 boom. This is actually still pretty rough. This is the trail. Over there, the sidewalk looks beautiful. It looks like it's been freshly paved. But that's the Moshulu boat. That's like a dining restaurant. So if you wanna try a spot to dine at that's right on the riverfront, that's in a boat. So you'll be actually dining inside of a boat. That boat stays dockside. You got the entrance to the 95 right here. You go 95 north. You also got the Chart House restaurant. There's a few little boats right here that are dockside on my left-hand side. There's like 3 or 4 boats that are all dockside, meaning that they don't leave the dock. This is a very large little exit right here. I don't want to jump off it. All right, I'm riding over a lot of gravel. Oh, and then the auto assist wanted to take over. All right, guys, so this is the sidewalk. That's how far they're pushing it out. As far as the trail goes, well, that's gonna be another sidewalk from what it looks like. Let me see. Let me take a good look at this. This is gonna be the trail. That's gonna be grass. All right, grass with the light poles and some trees. All right, yeah, because you can see it over here. Check it out, the waterfront. On the Jersey side, they actually got some more war boats. I actually been in that war boat when I was a kid. I was like 15. We went on a class trip, and I went into that war boat. Got a chance to experience it. I'm gonna walk this over here. We're gonna get back on the trail. We're gonna do our best to stay on the trail. That was the jogger dude on my left-hand side who had the really tiny legs. Not so much tiny, but they were like petite, you know? Looked like, I guess, at one period of his life, he was a lot slimmer. That's probably why he's conscious about his health. And I don't blame him. I'll be trying to jog too. I just don't have, but then again, he ain't got a steady jogging partner. He ain't got a jogging partner, so I can't sit here and use the excuse of I ain't got a jogging partner. Check out this is I believe, condo. It's a large riverfront condo. There's a first floor parking garage, and then there's condos that you can buy up top. And to my knowledge, there was a stripper who was killed in that condo. Yeah, I don't know if she was a stripper or if she was like a female escort or something, but she was killed in that condo a few years ago. This is Dockside 717. The residences at Dockside. Condos for sale. Check it out. So if this was your condo and you were right on Penn's Landing, that would be your entrance. You see how I got like the cobblestone on the street? I don't know if y'all can see it. The cobblestone entrance. All right, let me get back on this trail. Check it out. You notice how that artwork, those pieces of metal, the metal shards, they're shaped to look like fish. I don't know if you guys can tell. They're shaped to look like fish. I'm sorry, I'm trying to tuck like my hair away because I noticed that my hair tends to cover the front of the lens. And I'm sure if it bugs me, it bugs you guys. Let me stop once more, just tuck this away. Maybe I should just tie up my hair. I can always do that. All right. We had another entrance to the 95 right here on my right-hand side. This is another unused dock, and there's a few of them that aren't really utilized as much. And those houses right there on my right-hand side, they just made them not too long ago. I would say they made them within the last decade. But if you think about it, I think those houses, to an extent, they're pretty neat, considering that they're right on the riverfront. They're making more houses by Pentreaty Park, and they're making houses on Beach Street. Beach Street, they're making more houses there too. They're making like a whole little housing complex, which are gonna be luxury homes, because they're on the riverfront. So I can imagine them wanting quite a hefty bill for one of those homes. I'm assuming these homes right here, don't hold me to this, but I'm assuming they're about $800,000 each, give or take. I don't know if they hit the million mark yet. But the reason why the price tag is so high is not only because they're brand new, but they're right on the riverfront. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 stories, and it looks like there's a lifted basement. They might have it lifted. I don't know if they do that for flooding purposes, you know what I mean? This doesn't ever really flood. But then again, it's next to water, so. We got some cyclists on the left-hand side. It is 11 o'clock. They were on a tandem bicycle. I used to have a tandem, the 2-seater bicycles. Yeah, I used to have one, brand new, but I sold it. Me and my wife used to ride around on it. But I didn't really have a place to store it, and I had so many objects, I had to downsize. But I'll get another tandem in the near future. It ain't about nothing. This is a beautifully large building. And to my knowledge, it's not really being used for anything fancy right now. It's Municipal Pier number 38. It's an awesome building. I'm gonna try to ride right along the side. Oh! I tried so hard not to like fall. I was trying to hold my balance. But look at, the trail goes all the way down here. We're actually a block shy of Washington Ave. They actually shot a movie right here. I can't think of the movie right now. But they used this lot right here, and I remember seeing this little strip in a movie. I can't think of it right now. And it was kind of a boring movie. Like, it wasn't my genre. It wasn't a genre that I liked, but I can't think about it. What movie did they shoot here at Piers 38 and 40? It's the Penn Warehouse and Distribution spot. Yeah, back in the day, back in like the late 1800s and 1900s, this was all the main industrial district for shipping because it's right next to the water. So I'm assuming we got a lot of our goods back in the day from right here on the waterfront, and then they would distribute them throughout the city. This was all industrial. This was all industrial. It didn't become like nice to my knowledge until like the 90s. I mean, if anybody has more accurate information than that, let me know. But I believe like the 90s, late 80s, 90s is probably, and maybe even the late 80s, it was still crap. Maybe like in the 90s. I know in the early 2000s when I was a kid growing up, Penn's Landing was relatively nice. We got shanks, steaks, cutlet, and pork. It's like pork cutlets, Shanks Originals, established in 1962, best in Philly. So just imagine, I don't know if Shanks has been there since 1962 because I wasn't born, but just imagine if they've been there since 1962. I doubt that. I don't know. Does anybody know? Do any OG residents know? We're passing Christian Street. And look at over here, they haven't worked on the trail yet. But this is where the trail is going to end, on Washington Ave. Now, there is a bike trail that's in the street, but they haven't started the project here yet. I'm going to utilize some of this E feature. Oh, check it out, a fellow E person. Yeah, that was an e-scooter dude. Right here, we got the United States Coast Guard building. And on the next block, they usually be having like little antique flea markets. Yeah, on the next block, inside the parking lot. Comes every so often. All right, we're at Columbus Boulevard and Washington Ave. Right up the block, that's where the movie theaters used to be at. They closed down as of now. I don't know if they're ever gonna come back. We got the Riverview Plaza, Ruby Buffet, Pet Boys, Masquerade, Faux Saigon, Hand and Stone Facial Massage, Dunkin' Donuts. Surprisingly, they didn't change that brand to Dunkin' yet, because I know a lot of them are getting changed to Dunkin'. There's a lot of other businesses up here, such as Best Buy, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Chick-fil-A, Target. Let me move out of the way so that she can jog. There's Monster Pets. There's a steakhouse. We got a large boat over there called the United States of America. That's one of the boats they were supposed to turn into a boatfront casino, but I think that project fell through. It failed and it didn't work out. But yeah, you go down there, that's South Philly. Right now we're basically in South Philly. Once you're at Washington Ave, that's South Philly. You go down there, you got Dickinson Narrows, you got Passyunk Square, you got Queens Village, you got several other South Philly neighborhoods. And the farther you go down, you go to like Graves Ferry, to Point Breeze and everything. You got the sports complex down here too on Oregon Ave, Tasker Ave. This is right around the corner from the mob area, from Snyder Avenue. That's like 4 or 5 minutes away from here. So this is all relatively close to within the vicinity, because I understand sometimes when I show these videos to you guys don't understand the correlation between certain neighborhoods to, I just show them to you in pieces, but you don't understand how they work together in their entirety. Philadelphia is over, 143 square miles? It's a pretty big city. And there's a lot of different neighborhoods that make up this big city. So with that being said, guys, I'm about to cross this super duper large street right here. I think this is going to conclude our little tour. All I wanted to do for this tour was show you this little jogging project that they're doing right here, this jogging path / cycling path project. I wanted to show you it before it was completed, because I know soon enough, in a few months to years, this project will be completed. And the process of it will not have been documented, at least in its raw form, from a local lifelong resident. I was born and raised in Philly. I remember traveling up this strip all the time when I was a kid with my pop, when we would go to Walmart, when we would go to Home Depot, when we would go to the local McDonald's or to the movie theaters. I've walked across the street on dozens of occasions when I was just 11, 12 years old. I would get off at 2nd and Market from the Market Frankfurt train, and I would walk to the movie theaters. And this alone, from Market to the movie theaters, was about a 2 to 3 mile walk. So I would walk straight from 2nd and Market to the movie theaters. So I figured that it'll be cool for you guys to see and hear what this neighborhood looked like and what it will look like in the near future from a local resident, not just somebody with an outside view from an outside perspective. Because I know a lot of people that are not from Philly, they basically create a prejudged assumption at what the areas are like, or if they just, some people could be from Philly, but because they haven't been exposed to a lot more than their specific neighborhood, they don't have a large looking view. They don't have a larger window to look through versus what they've only saw in their lifetime. So thank you for watching. Show some love, show some support, drop a comment, drop a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Every subscription helps this channel grow. I plan on exploring more and venturing to other states and cities. Might be a city near you. This is your homeboy Tune 215, Tune Dollars. Y'all know, Tune be chillin', and I'm tuning out.